I call it the 10 Commandments of successfully working with artists. And if you're a writer and you want to create comics and you want to work with artists, these are probably like the 10 best rules or commandments or guidelines that I could give people who might be interested. Which takes me to number 8. Thou shalt think about what you're asking an artist to draw. Okay. It takes me 10 seconds to type a horde of 10,000 zombies. It'll probably take me less than that. That's why I'm doing it with my thumbs. You know, I hate texting, so my thumbs are too big. But how long will it take an artist to draw it, especially repeatedly in several panels? You got to keep in mind what you're asking people to draw. It's very easy to say, a space armada of 10,000 ships comes crashing into the dinosaur army, and you know. And again, you'll give this to an artist, and they will just, you know, all of a sudden, what writers call flake out, quote, I'm making the air quotes, you know, flake out. It's not that they flaked out, it's that you're, you know, not being very realistic. Now, by all means, if someone wants to do that, or maybe you want to do it like one page, one shot, one big crazy, you know, money shot. Boom, here it is. Cool. Talk to them about it first. You know, make sure what they can do. I have a good friend who I've worked with several times, Anthony Peruzzo. I've worked with him a couple times, and he said, you know, Dirk, I would really like to draw a zombie story. And I said, oh, you're killing me, dude. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, Walking Dead, hello? He goes, yeah, I know, but I've just been in the mood. And I said, well, it sucks, man, because I had this zombie story I really wanted to tell in Nightmare World. All the Nightmare World stories are 8 pages. And I said, but the story was too big for 8 pages. I couldn't do the story justice. It'd be like a 22-page story, and someday I'm going to do a series of 22-page kind of speculative fiction, scary one-shots called Love Stories to Die For, which, by the way, the first flip book comes out in September. 2 stories, 22 pages each, for less than the price of one comic, or 2 separate comics, $4.99, 2 22-page stories. Read one, flip it over, read the other one. A science fiction one and a medieval one. That's all I can say for now, or my publisher will choke me. I'm just kidding, he won't choke me. They'll pay someone else to do it. But I told him, I said, yeah, I wanted to do this zombie story for Love Stories to Die For. And I can't now because Walking Dead's out, you know, and it looked like you're riding the coattails. So maybe like another 5 years or something, but it sucks. I'm really excited about this story. It's going to be real cool, done in one, boom, you know, awesome. He said, oh, well, what was the story? And I know Anthony well enough that I could comfortably tell him. Quick side note, the worst thing you can do as a writer, especially when talking to other writers, yeah, I really want to write this cool idea for a story, and then start saying what it is. Don't do that. I stop people. I'm like, wait, stop. I'll read it someday. Don't tell other people. Don't give this stuff away. Even subconsciously, you know, people pick up on stuff. Or, let's say you tell me your great idea about a chupacabra farmer. What if I happen to be writing a chupacabra farmer story? And mine's almost done. And it's in the it is done. It's in the hands of the artist. Then, a year later, a month later, whatever, that story gets published, what are you going to say about Dirk Manning? He stole my chupacabra wrestler story. Chupacabra farmer story. He stole it. I didn't steal it, man. I was working on it already, you know. But that's also why most publishers do not take blind submissions. That's why you can't send a Spider-Man story to Marvel. What if they're writing one just like it? And then you say, oh, well, you stole my idea because I sent it in. That's why they're going to read it. They shred it. It's not that you're not great. We're all special little snowflakes. I get it. But they have to protect themselves. Anyway, so I tell Anthony, I know him well enough, I tell him this, the tagline for this story I wanted to do. He's like, dude, that's awesome. I said, I'm not gonna draw anything else that you write until you write me that script. You son of a gun. So what I did, and I'm like, okay, 2 can play at this game. Man, I had like 10,000 zombies on every page. I went crazy, go nuts. I had zombies hanging off the rafters, and like, you know, you name it. It was falling out of airplanes. It wasn't that bad, but it was pretty severe. You know, dude drew it. He wanted to draw hordes and hordes of zombies. I don't know what was going on in his head at the time, or in his life. And they look great. They're all grotesque, and their eyes were falling out. And they're all slag-jawed and emaciated. ripping people apart. But that's what he wanted to do. I never in 100 years would have given him or anybody a story that has hundreds of zombies on multiple pages, but that's what he wanted to do. Keep that in mind. Most people, they want to draw and move on to the next picture, draw and move on to the next panel, draw and move on to the next panel. So be very, very aware of what you're asking people to draw. Be creative about it. If you really need a scene that's very detail-oriented, talk to the artist and say, I want to do this scene where, the space armada is flying in, but I don't want you to have to draw 1,000 spaceships. How can we do this? They might have some tricks too. They can Photoshop, whatever, but be aware of what you're asking people to draw.